Liz. So last time you were in, we had spoken about you being kind of on the rocks with your boyfriend, and you were pretty sure that you were gonna end things.
Right, I took some of your advice. I tried to compromise with him, tried to talk to him. Yeah, that's over. No, we're not doing that.
You seem very sure on that. Is there any like last thing that really just did it?
I was already like towards the end before I came to see you, and then I got the insight. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe it'll work. You know, we've been together for 5 years. You know, let me go ahead and try to make it work. And I just wanted to feel like I wasn't wasting my time.
Sure.
So I went in and I kept a positive attitude, and it just no. He's very verbally aggressive. He's rude, and you know, he got very comfortable because at first he was, you know, very nice and, you know, romantic and things like that. And then over time, he just got nasty, and I'm not dealing with that. So I'm done with that, and I'm ready to get back out dating.
I like the confidence that you seem very sure of yourself, and that is awesome. How long has it been since you've been like in the? I know you said you were with him for 5 years, but you know, sometimes you're in a relationship, but you're kind of talking before that. How long has it been since you've really just been open in the dating game?
I'm not open yet.
Okay.
I'm open to dating.
Okay.
But since we broke up, it's been like almost a year.
Oh wow. Okay.
So, I feel like I'm ready. I feel like I processed everything.
Okay.
And I'm ready to get back out there and date.
Has he tried to contact you at all?
Yeah, but I blocked him on all social media.
So you're sure of this?
I'm sure.
Okay. It sounds like you're pretty ready to move on. What's kind of stopping you from making that leap and really getting into the dating game, and kind of not just if it happens to you, which is what I'm kind of picking up on, but more going out and searching for it?
I feel like maybe after 5 years, waiting a year is too early.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I haven't really come to terms with everything. Like, I feel like I have, but then like I feel like there's other judgment that'll come along. Like, hey, you just got in a relationship. Like, what makes you think that you're ready to date? And you know, I don't know.
Who would say those things to you?
My friends, my family
Really?
members. Yeah.
How did they feel about him?
They knew him not like how I knew him.
Sure.
They knew the nice, romantic, you know, friendly guy. They didn't know him like I knew him.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all like, when I first told them that I was breaking up, they're like, wait, what? You guys were like about to get married, weren't you guys? Like things like that. And I was like, no, no, he's not a good guy.
So what I'm hearing is it kind of sounds like there was a lot of unhappiness on your side for a while. What do you think that kept you so long, or what made you kind of keep his cover? Did you, you know, like, why not reveal to your family like who he really is, you know, so they're not, you don't feel as trapped and like so necessary that you needed to stay with him, if that is the case. Did you feel you had to?
I didn't feel like I had to stay with him. I felt like I invested so much time in it.
Yeah.
And like I didn't reach out to any of them because I don't really like people in my relationships
Sure.
and things like that. So like for them to be shocked is right because I really didn't reach out to them, but I personally try to work through it, you know, and it just didn't work out.
So do you think that maybe you would be more likely to get involved in the dating game if it could kind of be like your little secret? Like maybe not bring it out to your family right away. You know what I mean? Like let them marinate with you being out of a relationship for a while. You know, because if you're ready, you seem very ready. If you're ready and this is what you're wanting to do, then why not make yourself happy? Go out and just see what's out there. At least get your feet wet. You don't have to have a boyfriend. What do you think about that?
That's true. I never really thought of that. Like, because even though I do try to keep my personal life personal, they still try to get in my business. So I feel like they'll still kind of know somehow, you know?
Yeah.
And then also, like, it's not fair for me to keep, you know, whoever I'm dating a secret.
Sure.
They might not like that, you know? So it's just me figuring out maybe how to tell them, or me figuring out how to keep them out my business.
Yeah, and you know, at some point, I mean, I'm very close with my family, so I get where you're coming from. Um, but at some point, it's kind of like, where do you draw the line and say, this is my life? You know? And I get that that can be difficult, because if I said that to my family, they'd be like, we are part of your life. You know? Do you get those feelings? Like, you kind of have to do what they're wanting?
Yes, very, very much so. They're
Okay.
very, especially my culture, they're just like very involved in each other's lives, you
Sure.
know, and it's very hard to separate, you know, my personal life from their life.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's exactly what I'm feeling.
Are you feeling any pressure that you need to settle down with someone? And you've already, like you said, you know, I've already put in 5 years with this guy. You know, do you feel any pressure to keep that going because you've already put in 5 years? You know, that's a big chunk of time, especially, you know, when you're not a teenager anymore. You're trying to get your life started, and a lot of times that involves a family. And you've put a significant chunk of time into this man. He's not the right man for you. You've stated this. But they don't understand that. Do you think part of their pressure is from wanting more from you? More of a family, more...
Yeah, yes, they are pressuring me,
Okay.
but then also me, you know.
You're putting pressure.
I'm not getting any younger, you know.
Sure.
I don't have any kids, you know, and I'm lonely, and you know, like I said, I'm not getting any younger, so I want a family, and
Absolutely.
I want to be happy. I want to be married.
Nothing wrong with that.
You know. So I put in 5 years. He's just not good. So
Okay.
I feel like I waited an adamant time, and so I'm gonna go. And
I am under the belief that you put in your 5 years. If it's not right, don't put in more years just to get married, because you want to have a happy marriage. You said you don't want to feel lonely. The chances are, if you stay with this guy, you're going to feel lonely even though you're married. What do you think would be something that would be an okay idea to maybe start dating? You know what I mean? Just maybe like a group date, or like trivia at a bar with different friends, or just meeting new people. Would you be open to that?
sounds scary.
Yeah, it does. What about this new crazy fad, online dating?
Someone actually mentioned that to me.
Okay, and your thoughts?
I don't think I'll build up a good profile for online dating. I don't think I'll get selected.
Where is that coming from?
Just maybe my past relationships, you know,
What does that
will
mean?
probably portray onto my new relationships.
Oh, you write the bio. You put up the pictures.
Yeah.
Where's all this hesitation coming from?
Probably from me.
Coming from you.
Just I'm overthinking it.
Have your past relationships been kind of long relationships? 5 years is half a decade. That's a good chunk of time. Have all your relationships kind of been like that, or?
They've been years, like 2 years,
Okay.
3 years,
Okay.
you know, so they
Not
haven't been
flames.
long. No.
And coming out of those, have you been as sure, like, you know this guy, you're done with him? Have you felt that same way after those relationships?
Not as sure as this one.
Not as sure. Okay, so you were obviously able to get back in the dating game after those, because you've dated since. What was it that made you do that, or gave you the ability to feel comfortable doing that, to find a new person, to, you know, to even look? What gave you that strength?
Just me being confident in who I am, and I was sure. I mean, it took me longer, I would say, much longer than a year to figure out that I wanted to date, because I wasn't too sure. I was going back and forth with it, but after a while I was sure, and I was confident that, you know, I was ready to get back out, but I'm not sure what sparked that confidence.
You keep saying were, past tense. You were confident. You were sure. You were. What is taking away from your confidence now? What is it about? Is it something about this guy, or just this situation, or just it could be just how dating is now. You know, I have other patients tell me that dating is just horrible now. It is hard, it is scary, it is, you know, upsetting at times. And it's, apparently people get ghosted, that's a thing. You just,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It just disappeared.
And that can be a huge thing with online dating. you know, and there's all these things that are kind of be negatives, but I think we have to find the positive. So what do you think could be a positive of maybe online dating or in-person dating, or just getting your feet wet a little bit? What are some positive things that could come from that?
A better relationship. Someone to love.
Someone that loves you.
Yeah, someone to love me.
And treat you
Treat me better.
how you should be treated, not just better. You know, better doesn't seem like that high of a step for that guy.
Right.
You know. What do you think about maybe trying a dating app? There are ones that are female oriented where you kind of take the reins. How would you feel about that? Where you would kind of be the person in charge of setting that relationship, of saying hi first, of, you know, like on Tinder, everyone matches back and forth. There are other ones where, you know, you get to decide. Just because all these guys like you, and when you match, it doesn't tell them. You're in control of it all.
Oh, wow.
How would you feel about taking on something like that, taking on a little more responsibility in the role?
I didn't know that they had online dating like that. That seems like a very...
Do you think that could be empowering and maybe give you some of that confidence that you had, or, you know,
Doesn't
used
sound
to?
as scary.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of reins to have. What would you think about meeting up with someone that you met on one of those? Like, talking to someone on a phone is very different than seeing them in person. Do you think that right now you're at a point where you could go through with it?
I want to date.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I'm ready to date, but now I'm thinking maybe I'm not ready to date. Because I don't feel like as confident as I was before, because now I'm thinking of these past issues,
Sure.
you know, and they're bringing up a lot of like hurt and pain and stuff like that, and I would hate to put that on to someone else. So maybe I haven't
fair.
worked through.
That's fair, that
those
first person, that
issues.
rebound.
Yeah.
That's fair. Do you always, you kind of like always in a relationship, you kind of go for like from, I mean, you've had a year off, but pretty much have you always kind of just boyfriend and then another boyfriend and then another boyfriend?
Always. For
Always?
like the past 12 years.
So what are your thoughts on maybe dating? You're not looking for a boyfriend. Who needs a relationship? But maybe just to work on some of your confidence and find who you're comfortable with, who you are, you know? And you could use some of those guys to work out things that haven't worked in the past, or find what works for you now. What are your feelings on just dating? You know, relationships. Different guys, just dinners, free coffees.
I would need to learn how to set those boundaries, because I feel like
What is
I'm
that?
so caught up sometimes in the moment where I like, okay, you know, we'll be together, or I love you, and things like that prematurely, and it's not really those type of feelings.
Why do you feel the need to say those things if you're not really feeling them?
Just say they like me or love me.
Well, yeah, but what if they like you and love you without you even having to say those things? Would you ever consider trying to get to that point before you did say them?
Probably.
Yeah, that will actions speak louder than words. Do you think that you could maybe just go on dates? Or would that be, do you think, out of your realm right now?
I think that may be out of my realm right now.
That's completely fair to say. That's completely fair. I appreciate the honesty. What do you think would be something that maybe you could do that would be different than what you usually do, but isn't dating?
I would say maybe take my time.
Okay.
Kind of not rush into things.
Sure.
Maybe not even dating, just maybe having just conversations.
That sounds great.
And seeing where it goes.
Yeah.
Instead of like focusing on, okay, I'm gonna date, I'm gonna go, you know, I'm gonna have a boyfriend, or maybe I just need to like kind of step back and be like, okay, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I just need to take a step back is what I need to do.
I like that. Maybe I'm not ready. That's very okay to say. I like that very much. Why don't you try and think about some other things that are not necessarily things people hear that they are allowed to say to themselves, but that mean a lot to you. You know, why don't you think about terms like that so you find who you are and maybe who you want to date? Would that be something you could think about doing as like a homework or until our next session?
I can probably handle
Yeah?
that. Yeah. I
Alright.
do need to think about that.
No pressure to date, no rush. You got this.
Yes.